I've always loved Thanksgiving. As a kid, I looked forward to it all year long. It meant pumpkin pie, mashed potatoes, and most of all, spending time with family. So grab a pumpkin spice latte, settle in, and get ready for a roller coaster ride. Today we're diving into a particularly spicy situation. I never thought I'd be telling this story. Not because I'm ashamed, far from it, but because even now it still feels surreal. It's like a bad sitcom or one of those YouTube drama channels people watch just to roll their eyes. But this happened to me, and let me just say, people can surprise you, especially when they re-family or think they are. Now that I'm older, Thanksgiving means something different. We met at a tech conference in Chicago, and somehow among all the big personalities and startup brothers we clicked. He liked how quiet I was, and I liked how deeply he listened. Within 2 years, we were married, yet no family nearby, so I never met his parents until after our wedding. They lived across the country in Oregon and didn't even show up for our ceremony. Travel's too expensive was the excuse. No FaceTime, no call, nothing. Jason brushed it off like it was normal, but I could tell it bothered him, even if he would unadmit it. A few months into our marriage, they called. Apparently his dad, Harold, lost his job. Then the housing market crashed, and their mortgage ballooned out of control. They were desperate, just need a place for a few months. His mother, Carol, pleaded over the phone. Jason, the ever-helpful Jason, said yes. The only catch, our place was a small 2-bedroom apartment in the city, and we had no room. But I had another property, a second apartment that I'd inherited from my godfather years ago. A beautiful renovated brownstone with warm brick walls and hardwood floors. I'd been renting it out on and off, but it was vacant at the time. So I offered it to them. No rent. Just stay, regroup, and get back on your feet. Jason was overjoyed. His parents were finally going to meet me. I wish I'd known what was coming. They arrived on a Friday evening. I'd gone over early, tidied up, even baked banana bread, because I was raised with manners. I wore simple jeans and a t-shirt, nothing flashy. My hair was in a braid, no makeup. I didn't want to come off showy. But the moment they saw me, things took a turn. Carol's eyes narrowed. Harold barely looked me in the eye. When Jason introduced me with a beaming smile, "Mom, Dad, this is Emily, my wife," they nodded stiffly. No hugs, no warmth. It only got worse. Over dinner, Carol asked where I was originally from. I told her I was born in Atlanta. No, she pressed. I mean, like, really from? I paused. Still Atlanta? She tilted her head. But you know, honey, you look sort of exotic. Are you Latina? Not. Mixed black and Irish. But I didn't feel like getting into a heritage debate with a woman who clearly had other intentions. I just smiled and said, I get that a lot. That's when Harold piped up. Did you come here legally? Jason choked on his water. Dad, what? Harold shrugged. We have to be careful these days. I'm just saying you can never be too sure. I sat there in stunned silence. I wasn't even angry yet. I was just confused. They didn't ask what I did for a living. Didn't ask how Jason and I met. All they cared about was what box I checked on the census. Jason apologized later that night. I could see the shame on his face. I don't know why they're like this. Maybe they're just stressed. I wanted to believe that, so I let it go, but they didn't. Over the next week, I dropped by to check on them, bring groceries, help set up their internet, drop off mail, and every time I was met with suspicion. One afternoon, I arrived to find Carol scrubbing the countertops with bleach. You know, she said without looking up, some of these rental places are real dumps. You just never know what kind of people lived here before. I nearly laughed. I own the building. It's a nice unit, I said calmly. You're lucky the landlord's letting you stay rent-free, she scoffed. Probably some desperate guy. Foreign investors love buying up American property, then vanishing. I bet it's some Russian dude laundering money. I bit my tongue so hard it nearly bled. They truly thought I was the housekeeper, or a distant cousin. Or worse, some undocumented worker Jason had married out of pity or rebellion. The icing on the cake came 2 weeks later. Jason was out of town for a tech summit, and I came over to drop off a new router. I knocked, but no one answered, so I let myself in with my key. Carol was in the kitchen, on the phone. She didn't see me right away. I don't trust her, she was saying. Jason married some girl he barely knows. I swear she barely speaks English sometimes. She could be trying to get citizenship. Who knows what kind of scam this is? My hands clenched the router box until it crumpled. I stepped into view. She turned, startled. "Oh, Emily, I didn't hear you come in." I smiled sweetly. "No worries. Just bring in the new internet setup. The landlord figured you'd need faster service." She sniffed. "You talk to him often?" "All the time," I said, setting the box down. "In fact, I am him." She blinked. "You may not like who your son married, but that doesn't give you the right to demean me in my own space. You are living in my apartment." I walked out without waiting for a reply. Jason flew back the next day. I told him everything. His face went pale, then red, then pale again. "I'll tell them to leave," he said, standing up. But I stopped him. "No, let them stay for now. But they need to know the truth. From you too." So he sat them down. It wasn't an easy conversation. Carol cried. Harold tried to deflect, claiming it was all a joke, but Jason didn't back down. He told them I was the best thing to ever happen to him, that I was brilliant, kind, and nothing like the woman they assumed I was. He told them they were guests in my home and needed to start acting like it. Things shifted after that. Slowly, Carol started asking me questions, real ones, about my work, my family, my godfather. Harold apologized stiffly, but at least he said the words. I didn't forgive them immediately. Can't erase prejudice with a few apologies, but I gave them a chance, because that's what strong women do. We rise, not just for ourselves, but for those who come after us. For the next girl who walks into a room and gets judged by the way she looks, or speaks, or simply exists. Eventually, they moved out into a modest place nearby. They still come by sometimes. Bring pie. Talk about the weather. I'm cordial, never cold, but I don't forget. Jason knows the difference in my eyes, the quiet wall I keep between me and them. But he supports it, because he saw it too. And he knows that I carried us all through something ugly and came out shining. So no, I'm not an immigrant. I'm the damn landlord. It's a reminder of everything I'm grateful for, the good and the bad, the people who made me who I am today. This Thanksgiving is going to be extra special, because I'll be spending it with you guys. Okay, enough of the mushy stuff. Now let's dive into today's video. Hey there, welcome back to my channel. It all started when I married Jason. Jason is kind, gentle, almost a trusting a software engineer who gets more excited about coding updates than social gatherings. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button and consider subscribing.